The poem is called A Turquoise Tragedy. There was a time, as I've heard say, when budgies had a part to play with the brave miners down the pit. If the air was bad, the budgie was the first to know of it. Some budgies paid a heavy price. A budgie's life was not all nice, but still it was a life worth living, warning the miners, a gift worth giving. Therefore, it is not a mystery, when thinking of collective budgie history, that a modern budgie can feel despair, no work to do, just sitting there. I knew a budgie who could have been a hero, but stuck on his perch. His life was zero, and so imprisoned in his cage. One day he fell into a rage. A bell, trapeze, and stalk of millet was not a stimulating billet. He rattled at his bars of wire. His situation was quite dire. The trouble was, his life was trivial. He yearned for company convivial. As he looked in his mirror at his double, he knew he was lonely. That was the trouble. The budgie's owner was not a good friend. He just watched TV for hours on end. And then when he got tired of that, it was off to the pub to have a chat. One day, this fella had left the house, when our budgie, never short of nous, managed to open the door on its spring. And out he flew, the finest thing. A glass of cider was on the sink, so the budgie decided to have a drink. He'd heard that it could help depression, so he indulged in a real good session. In fact, it didn't help a lot. The more he drank, the worse it got. As he returned to the cage unsteady, his beak and claws were at the ready. The owner from his outing came back, and under his arm he carried a pack, and in this pack was a beautiful mate. But alas, you will hear of her too cruel fate, for the longed-for event had come just too late. The drunken budgie was ready to fight, and soon there was a dreadful sight. The cage was full of feathers and blood. The motto is easily understood. Too much cider is just not good.